With closer and closer elections and more attention on how we run our elections, more scholars and public observers are asking who should run our elections. In the US, elections are run by thousands of individuals spread out across the country who are responsible for running elections in their community. And many of these people are directly elected in partisan elections. And this has led many observers to worry that these officials will use their authority to advantage their party. The hope is that by appointing these individuals through a nonpartisan process, we would reduce the temptation of local officials to advantage their party in the choices they make around how to run elections. Evidence suggests that partisan election officials are not using their authority to advantage their party. And so appointing nonpartisan election officials may give the citizens more confidence that the election is run well and fairly, but it is unlikely to change the outcome of elections. There are a few reasons to not expect that election officials will advantage their party. First, election officials have a limited toolkit, and while they can change many aspects of how the election is run, it's often hard to predict whether those changes will result in an advantage for one party or another. It's also the case that candidates for office are noticing what's happening in election administration. If an election official does something that severely disadvantages them, candidates have potential avenues for pushing back against those changes. And finally, it's also the case that the people who decide to become election officials, as it turns out, they tend to not have as partisan views on how to run elections, perhaps because of the experience they have running elections prior to taking office. Nonpartisan election administration probably doesn't make elections any fairer, but it may give voters more confidence that the election was run fairly, and that would be a good outcome in and of itself.